Hi guys, in this video we will see one question which I have asked to more than 200 candidates in many interviews, but th this is just a simple scope based question. I have seen like 90% people make mistake. So let's see what is this. So we will start with very basic one. So I asked them to print from 1 to a given number. So let's say they write some function like this. Function print 1 to n, and we will give some parameter n. So this is very simple, right? We will just write one for loop, and then you will just print from 1 to n. So we will simply print console.log and I, right? And we will call this function from here, and let's say provide the argument as 8, and let's run it. So okay, sorry, so here it is index. Let's run it again. Yeah, so if you see, we are able to print from 1 to 8, right? Now we will just add some more scope based stuff here. So now I will ask them that just what happens if I make it var. Okay, so you can just pause the video and guess the output, what it will print. It will again print 1 to 8, no difference. It's all right. Now the trickiest part is you have to print each number from 1 to a given number. So the thing is, now I want you to print from 1 to a given number, but each number has to be printed after 1 second. Okay, so most of the time what they will do, they will just write some set timeout or something. So let's do something like this, set timeout, because I have asked them to print it from 1 to n, right? So they will just go like this, and they will write a function here, and they will move it from here to here, and let's clear this out and put 1 second here, right? So most of the time they will do this, but now I just want you to pause the video and see, guess whether it is going to print each and every number from 1 to n after each 1 second. So they usually do this, but if you just run it, see, it printed 9 after 1 second, and it printed 9 8 times. See, it printed 9 8 times and all at the same time. But the requirement was they have to print from 1 to n each number after 1 second. So the trick here is you have to make your set timeout, right, in such a way that it will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, right? It should take that amount of time. So the simple solution here is you have to just make it like index into this, then it will be like for each and every loop you will have a separate set timeout instance, and that will have separate timer. This will be 1 second, then 2 seconds, then 3 seconds, right? But here is also a catch. If you just pause the video and guess the output, it is still not correct. Okay, so let's enter it. Now you see it printed 9. So after 1 second, it printed 9, and then it is again printing 9 8 times, right? Why it is happening? Because if you know, the set timeout is a this is not something synchronous, right? It will get executed after all the synchronous code has been finished. So it will come from the callback queue, and at that time this index would have become 9, right? So at the end of this loop, when it will be like 8, it will increase this to 9, right? And when it will start printing, this will refer to, this index will refer to this index. Basically, I'm talking about this callback, right? This was used when it was scheduled, but this is still referring to the index. And this index, since we have declared with var, it is now 9, because at the end of this loop, it will be 9, right? So let me just put a breakpoint so that you can visualize it. Let's run it again. See, so after 1 second, it started with the first callback. But at this time, if you see, the index is not available in this scope, right? So the index is not available in this scope, and it will go to this scope, print 1 to n scope, right? This is a function scope. So whenever you declare a variable with var, it is a functional scope variable. So now it will try to see that whether we have index or not. So then it will go and print 9. And similarly, it will happen 8 times. See, now just notice this one, the below one. It will print 9, 9, 9. So this is because of the functional scope of var, right? Now, again coming to our requirement, which was we have to print from 1 to 9 and each number after 1 second. So just pause the video and think what can you just modify here so that you will be able to achieve this. So if you see, we are already able to schedule this for dynamic interval 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 9, this provided number. But now what we have to do, we have to print also that. So we can just change this var to let, so that we will create the block scope of that index, right? And it will refer to that block. It will not refer to the functional scope index. So now if I run it, just notice here in the console, each number is getting printed after 1 second, and it will print from 1 to 8, right? Let's see, now put a breakpoint here at line number 4, and let's see what's happening internally. So now if you see, this is at line number 4. If you see, again, it does not have this. See, it does not have that print 1 to n as of now in this context. It is having block scope. Earlier, if you notice, we were having print 1 to n closure, and from there the index was coming. But now this index is coming from this one. So if you notice this block scope, right? So this is coming from the block scope of this set timeout. Okay. Now, if I just move to the next, if I just resume the script, see, now it is again a block scope and coming as 2, right? So if I just step over, it will print 2, right? So similarly, it will happen for all the numbers from 1 to 8. So this was a very good example that how you can test your scope knowledge. So the learning from this video is, if you want to make some variable very scope specific, try to declare with that let. Otherwise, if you declare with that var, it will refer to the functional scope variable. So I hope this is clear to you, and please don't make mistake. I will just reiterate the same thing again. This is a very important interview question, and you will get confused inside this, because you have to also set time. You will have to manage the set timeout. Again, you have to manage the variable. So you have to write this syntax according to what your interviewer is asking. If he is saying that print 9 times after 1 second, then what you will do? If he is asking that you have to print from 1 to n and one number after each second, then what you have to do? You have to think about the block scope and functional scope, and the interval, basically the timer that you are setting for this set timeout should be dynamic, right? I hope this is clear to you, and that's all for this question, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep coding, keep rocking. Bye bye.